So this guy is going to talk mostly to men about success and the delusions of success and how success can rob you of your life and joy and purpose. But this is very applicable to women and men. How many people try and achieve things through the voids that are in them? It might not be money, it might be athletics, it might be looks, it might be academics. How much of man and woman's achievement come from the voids and insecurities within them? Test yourself, see why you are trying to achieve and trying to do great things. You will never be satisfied if it is a matter of that you are trying to prove yourself to the world, or you are trying to earn the right to be loved through achievement.
In this video, I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to talk to you about the dark side of masculine ambition and why it's probably more sensible for you to just chill out. Did you know that your brain is wired to be sensitive to social feedback? Which means that as a man, when you are succeeding and when you are helping other people and making a positive impact on those around you, your brain takes notice of it and it starts to feel really, really good. It's dumping pleasure chemicals on you, reassuring you that you're a person of status, a person of worth. You think, I have a lot of influence. People are better off for knowing me. I improve people's lives. And if that's true, your brain will respond by giving you self-esteem. That's sort of the biological basis of it. Now, it stands to reason that if you're a positive influence on 10 people, then you feel this much happiness. But if you're a positive influence on 20 people, you're going to feel twice as much happiness. And if you're a positive influence on 100 people, you're going to feel 10 times more happiness. And so a lot of men have concluded that it makes a lot of sense to be a political leader, a business tycoon, a celebrity, because these are the people who have the biggest reach. They can positively influence millions of people's lives, and then they're just going to be insanely happy. It sounds logical, right? But it doesn't work that way, because here's the thing is your brain to understand units of hundreds of millions of people. Your ancestors lived in tribes of like 100 or 200 people maximum. And even though we live in this modern world with all this crazy technology and I'm speaking to you and tens of thousands of people are listening right now, my brain can't really comprehend that. That's more data than it can process. You can understand it logically, but can you really feel it to that scale? The point that I'm making is that even though in the modern world you do have the capacity to positively influence hundreds of thousands, millions of people, your brain's capacity to appreciate that and to feel good about it, it caps out pretty quickly. The curve flattens. So when it comes to wanting to feel really good about yourself because you're able to positively influence, a bunch of people, it's actually quality that matters, not quantity. I mean, this is why celebrities, it's why they're on drugs, it's why they join cults. They're miserable even though they have millions of fans. And you think, well, that doesn't make sense. They should have all this positive energy flowing towards them. Why can't they enjoy it? But I'm telling you, your brain can't really make sense of that many people. What it makes sense of isn't the millions of fans around the globe. It makes sense of the people in your immediate surroundings. And who are celebrities surrounded by? Scummy agents and managers trying to extract all their money from them, people looking for favors, people looking to borrow some of their money and influence. They've got all these people sponging off them and their brain is like, my life sucks because look at all the people around me. That's the information that it pays attention to. I have some firsthand experience of this because while I'm not a celebrity, my videos have been viewed like 70 million times, which is more than the population of the UK or France. That is a disgustingly large number of people who've seen my face, who've heard my voice. I imagine that if my videos reach 80 million views or 100 million views, I'll probably feel the same. So what does my brain pay attention to? The relationships in my real life, the people who are physically in front of me, who I can see, who I can connect to, who I can relate with, who I can emote with. The people in my real life are my priority because I want to be happy on this planet. I want to have a good life. And as far as I can tell, paying attention to those real relationships, the people in my life, that's my best bet. You can understand, you choose the one person because that's what your brain can understand, and I want to feel good about myself. And I'm making this video because recently I've had a bunch of interactions from guys who watch my channel who have really strong ambitions, right? They want to change the culture. They want to make their mark upon the world. They've got heaps and heaps of ambition, but I'm worried that it's not coming from the healthiest place. And even if they succeed, it's not going to bring them the happiness that they imagine. Very few men on their deathbed saying, I really wish I'd made an extra $200,000. Then I would have felt complete. Maybe if I'd just gotten one more promotion at work, then my life would have been satisfied and happy. No, what you tend to hear people say at the end and they're reflecting back on their life, I wish I'd spent more time with my children. I wish I'd told my wife that I loved her more often. I wish I'd just go and walked barefoot on the grass or climbed a tree, gone on holidays, read great books. People regret not enjoying life to the full force that they feel like they could have. To some men, that doesn't seem like it's enough. Yeah, I could be respected at work and I could have a loving wife and children who adore me, but that's not enough. I need more than that. I need to be a CEO. I need to be famous. I need to be a politician. I gotta say, I think that that's nuts. I actually think it's incredibly tragic. And let me tell you this, that chasing the fame, chasing the success, in some ways is the easy option, right? Like, do you know it's actually pretty difficult to find a high quality woman? Do you know parenting is really hard to actually raise well-adjusted children? If you manage to succeed in that, if you're genuinely king of your own life, and even though you're not known to like the masses out there, your community, your family who know you, they all love you and they respect. I'm telling you, I think that's actually the way harder thing to achieve. If you manage to do that, man to man, I will think so highly of you. Do I think that highly of like influencers or politicians or business tycoons? Like, do I really respect those guys? Not particularly. Hopefully you've come across some of these cautionary tales of men who chased success, only to find that when they reached the top, they regretted the decisions that they made. They wished they'd led a more humble life and spent time with family, doing things that really mattered. It's not going to make you as happy as you think that it is. Money can't love you. Money can't hug you back. Money can't hold your hands while you walk along a river and listen to the wind. I know I'm getting a little bit like weird and poetic, but I'm trying to make the point that there are real moments, real people, real experiences in life, and abstractions of wealth and status can't hit your brain in the same way as those real moments can. The money and the success is good, not telling you to be a broke loser, but I'm saying balance. Not shaming your ambition. I'm actually provoking you to say, if you're truly ambitious, then you should want more than just worldly success. You should also want relationship and family success. It's a shame that they only seem to write biographies about men who were like chronic overachievers and like just went crazy in their particular industry and like changed the world. Because I actually don't think those men are really good role models. They don't seem particularly happy. I read that Steve Jobs biography. I read the Elon Musk one. The guys seem miserable. How about a biography about a good man who lives a simple life, who's kind to everybody who he comes into contact with, whose children love him, whose wife adores him, who does his work with diligence and pride, and has millions of moments throughout his life where he just breathes in and goes, I'm the luckiest man on earth. Why don't we write more biographies about that guy? Asking yourself the question, is my ambition coming from a healthy place? Sometimes it does come from a place of insecurity. I've got something to prove. I need to show everybody how amazing I am. I've got to immortalize myself with great deeds and great achievements. I'm going to show everybody who underestimated me that they were wrong. If that describes you, then this is my message. You're taking the easy way. You're trying to conquer the world because you're too scared to do what you should really be doing, which is conquering yourself. That internal hole that you feel inside yourself, that insecurity, is never going to be filled with material achievements because that's not how psychology works. You need to stop looking outward and start focusing inward. Why was I doing all of that? Why was I working myself to death? Who was I trying to prove something to? Ambition, status, success, they start to become less important. What rises up to take its place? Connection, relationships, family, simple pleasures, helping others, service. And with that comes so much more happiness and satisfaction. And I don't want the hyper ambitious version to win. That's just all about conquering, because it's kind of greedy and it can be exploitative very easy, and it justifies itself. And the worst thing is that it doesn't seem to bring that much happiness. I would much rather see a version that focuses on fatherhood, that focuses on relationships, duty, honor, compassion, helping others, taking responsibility. That's the version of masculinity that I want to see young men aspire to. And maybe then, if that was to become the cultural set of values, we wouldn't have a bunch of young men feeling like they were failures because they didn't conquer the entire world. They conquered themselves and they became kings inside their own life. That's enough. You're good at your work. Your family loves you. That's enough. If you manage to achieve that, you've made it. That's the pinnacle.
Worldly success is not success. If you're a man or a woman, chasing the world's definition of success will not just leave you unhappy and empty and robbed of your family, but can rob you of your calling. Seeking after God's definition of success and what to do with your life is the ultimate form of finding your purpose on earth. Pray regularly to Jesus to show you what He wants you to do on earth. Cry out to Him, ask Him to guide you and lead you. This is the ultimate form of success, doing God's work on earth, and this lasts forever. Things that are only done on earth for money and worldly things pass and are destroyed at the end of time.